just turn it over to her. And I believe Starla is our guest speaker tonight.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni, for asking me again. Y'all are becoming a gig once a year. My name is Starla, and I am an alcoholic. And I just celebrated my 6th year on 10/4, October 4th. I say 10/4 because I think it's cool. 10/4, everybody. So I have 6 years. I never thought I would ever say that I even had a day, let alone 6 years. So thanks to my higher power, who I am going to call God. So when you hear me talk about God, it's my higher power. So I was born, I'm not going to tell you my whole life story, but I was born on a pretty cool day too. I've got two birthdays. My sober birthday, 10/4, and my belly button birthday is December 25th. So I have two cool birthdays, and I can't change the belly button one. I could the sober, but I'm not, because I like it. So that kind of guarantees, I hope, that I keep my sobriety date. Anyway, I was born in Nebraska, and I have a little brother, 2 years younger than me, and childhood was tough for us. I had a very domineering mother, and she was the disciplinary, and she was not kind. When she would discipline, it was always physical, and she said very hurtful things when she wasn't being physical. So I grew up hearing how I wasn't smart, and I wasn't pretty, and I just wasn't good enough. And I heard that over and over and over from my mom. So, you believe stuff like that when it's your people that are supposed to be your safe place telling you those things. So I thought that. I accepted Jesus into my heart when I was 7, and was baptized, and I knew exactly what I was doing, and I thought that everything, was all going to be good. And life kept on being the way life had been, and as I got older, I got really mad at God, because I couldn't understand why a God that was supposed to be loving was letting all these things happen to me. The abuse of physical and mental abuse from the mom, and I ended up having a grandfather that decided he was going to molest me, and so that was going on, and it was a bad childhood, and I got really angry at God, so I walked away. I blamed everything on him, and I found solace in drugs and alcohol. And I started when I was about 13, and I could push buttons, because if you weren't hitting me, I didn't think you loved me. So I would push buttons with everybody to get them to hit me, because that was proving that they loved me. But then I'd get mad because they hit me, so there was no pleasing that person that I was back then. I became very promiscuous, and I ended up getting pregnant when I was 15, and I chose to keep the baby. So we had at 15 years old, I became a mama, and then I got married to a guy, not the baby's father. This happened in high school. I got married to a guy, and he was in the military, and we traveled around a little bit, and I had a child with him, and I was drinking and drugging when he was going out to sea, and when he came back, our relationship was bad. So we divorced, and I'm very codependent. I was very codependent, so I had a hard time being on my own. And I ended up going back and marrying the guy again and having another baby with him. So I ended up with 3 children, and we ended up getting divorced. I'm drinking through the whole thing. I have to blame myself for most of. It takes 2 to tango, but I was the one stepping on the toes more often than my partner, because I wasn't behaving the way I should have behaved as an adult woman. So anyway, we got divorced the second time, and then I get involved with the teenage baby daddy, and ended up marrying him. And with him, I did drugs, and I liked it. And it got to where I couldn't do the drugs anymore because my nose, I was snorting it. It was a long time ago, before the needle and the smoking and all of that became popular. And my nose wouldn't do it anymore. So thank God, literally, I stopped that. But the drinking was always, always there. I ended up divorcing him, and I bar hopped for a while, and that got too expensive. So I just started drinking at home. And I was going to the liquor store about every other day, and I chose a different liquor store each time I went so that the people inside wouldn't know how much I was drinking. They had to have figured it out. I was buying, 2 to 4 half gallons of vodka every time I went. And I would give excuses like, I'm making Kahlua, because that's what you make Kahlua out of. And I did do that, but not as often as I said I did. When I went to the liquor stores, I was drinking it. And my drinking, I quit. Let's back up a little bit. My mom became ill, and I went and lived with her. Codependent, and she was my mom, and I loved her even though. And while I was taking care of her and her being ill, I didn't drink because I wasn't allowed to drink in her home. And she had started going to church, and she had changed. And I was going to church, and I thought I had changed as well. And we reconciled. It's like we did a step 9, and I didn't even know what a step 9 was at the time. But we talked to each other, and she apologized to me for things that she had done and said and the way that she behaved. And of course I had to apologize too, because I rebelled. When she would be mean, I would just think, oh, you mean old woman, I can't wait to see what I can do next to make you mad. We did. We made up with each other, and that's really cool because she passed away, and she, as far as she knows, I wasn't drinking, and we forgave each other. So that part's cool. But as soon as, it's like we buried her on Saturday, and on Sunday I said, I'd really like to have a beer. Didn't know I was an alcoholic. And we, okay, well, let's go get some beer. And I did. And phew, I was off to the races. Didn't even, it's like I had just never stopped. I picked up right where I left off. And I fell in love with a guy, and we moved from, I was in Tennessee at the time. We moved from Tennessee to Indiana and to take care of his family. And we were drinking every day. And I was really drinking a lot. And it got to where I would come to. I was going to say wake up. I didn't ever go to sleep. I passed out, and then I would wake up, or I'd come to. And I'd come to, and before my feet hit the floor, I was picking the drink that was left on the nightstand to help my legs stop shaking and not be spaghetti. And that worked for a while, a little hair of the dog. But then it didn't. I'd drink, and it'd like come back up into my mouth, and I'd swallow it, come back, and I did that to try to get it down, at least 1 or 2 gulps, so that I could keep it down, so I'd stop shaking, and the headache would go away. And that just was no way to live. So one night, I went to bed, and my love of my life, his name was David, I had quit smoking, and so he stopped smoking in the house, and I went to bed, and we had been drinking, and I got up to use the restroom, and he was not in the house, and so I figured he was out on the porch having a smoke. So I went and took care of my business, and I came back out, and I looked out on the porch, and he wasn't there. So I opened up the front door, and he was laying in the yard, and I couldn't get him to wake up. So I called 911, and they came and got him. And then they called me and said, we're helicopter flighting him to Fort Wayne because he's got a brain injury. So the only thing that they could come up with was that he had fallen, and it didn't cut his head. I mean, his head didn't break, so all the blood that was happening was inside, and it basically squashed his brain in there. So they did surgery, and it didn't do any good. They had him on life support, and we had to make the decision to take him off of life support, and he died. But let me tell you this. In December of 18, I went to detox. I thought I was going to rehab. I showed up at detox with my little suitcase packed. Thought I was going to be there for 30 days or so and do rehab. Well, it wasn't rehab, it was just a detox. So I was there for 4 or 5 days. And when they let me go, I agreed to do anti-abuse because that's supposed to make you sick when you drink. And I didn't ever try it. I just believed that was what would happen. So I didn't drink. Made it until about mid-June. David and I decided, that was in December of 18, so June of 19, David and I decided that we wanted to party on the 4th of July. And so I went off the antabuse so that it would be out of my system so we could drink on the 4th of July. So I planned my relapse, and I didn't even know that I was an alcoholic, so there you go. So I stopped taking antabuse. We partied on the 4th, and I thought that we'd, hop back right on the wagon, because he had stopped drinking with me, and it didn't work. We partied and drank some more on the 5th, and the 6th, and the 7th, and he died on the 16th. So that catches you up to that. So when that happened, I really went into the bottle, and I would drink until it was drinking and throwing it up and swallowing it, and go to the detox, and they put me in there for 4 or 5 days and helped me through that part. And I'd leave the detox and go straight to the liquor store, and I could drink for maybe a week or two, and then it would happen again. And I went to detox a second time. And when they let me out, I went straight to the liquor store. And the third time, they wouldn't let me in. I think they caught on that I was just going to be a forever detox person, I guess. So I detoxed by myself, which I know that's dangerous, but I didn't have a choice. And I did not want to drink again. So the last time I had anything to drink was on October 3rd of 2019. So 10/4 is my first clean day. Although I felt like heck, I was not drinking, so that's good. And I didn't do antabuse, and I didn't do any of that stuff. I wasn't working in an AA program at that time, though. I was doing Smart Recovery, and I was doing Celebrate Recovery, and I was taking some classes voluntarily at Milestone. It's now Radiant Health in Marion, Indiana. And one of the facilitators of a class said that on Thanksgiving, one of the clubs where they have the AA meetings always had a big shindig on Thanksgiving where they did the turkey and all of that, and they played games and stuff for people that didn't have anywhere to go. So I was thinking, I don't need that, until Thanksgiving happened. And I'm sitting in my house by myself, and I knew I needed to do something or I was going to go to the liquor store. So I went to the building that supposedly had this happening, and nobody was there. Like, oh, goody. So I took myself, and I never did this before, but I took myself out to eat for Thanksgiving. And after I had the meal, I happened to stop back by that building just in case. And lo and behold, there was a light on, and there were 2 people there. And I didn't know them from a hill of beans, but I went in anyway. And they sat and talked with me for a while, and then some more people came, and they were playing cards, and I was watching them interact, and they were all laughing and joking and having a good time. And I got to that building at about 4 o'clock that afternoon, and they had a meeting, a regular meeting at 8, and I stayed from when I got there until after that meeting was over. And I went home and I didn't drink, and I was just so pleased that God led me there. You know, it says in our big book that God brings us to AA, and then AA brings us back to God. And that's exactly what happened on that Thanksgiving in 2019. So I started attending meetings, and I thought I was going to lose my house because when David died, our income stopped, and I didn't have a job. And lo and behold, when I was about ready to get kicked out, COVID happened. So COVID was a bad thing, but it was good for me because that stopped the landlord from being able to throw me out. And a sober living, a women's sober living house was opening that time in March of 20. And I was asked, after 6 months of sobriety, y'all, I was asked to be the house manager for when that house opened. So I took that opportunity, and because I was the house manager, I didn't have to pay rent. And the other participants or clients or whatever had to pay rent because, you know, that was their home. It was my home too, but I guess not paying rent was the way they paid me to hold that position. So I did that from March until July, and I had been awarded disability. So I was able to move back into the house that I never moved out of, really. All of my stuff was still there. I was able to move back into that house. See how God just illustrated everything. It's just amazing to me. And I lived in that house for a while, and I'm doing the AA meetings, and I completed my classes at Milestone, and now I sponsor people, and I haven't had the obsession to drink. It's been taken away. Like the big book says, that's what happens. The promises have come true, and they're still coming true. I am a peer support for Huntington County Drug Court. I work with the crisis unit for Radiant Health, and I attend a heck of a lot of meetings still. When I first started that building that I went to for Thanksgiving, at that time they had 3 meetings a day, and I went to all 3 meetings 7 days a week. So I was doing 21 meetings a week, and I did that for about 5 months or so. And I still do 5 a week, and it's not because, I don't think it's because I need it to not drink, because that's gone, but I need it because I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and you guys share with me and teach me and support me and encourage me and hold me accountable, and hopefully I share something once in a while that might touch somebody's heart and or turn a light on. And that's the whole goal, I think, of AA, is for us to be there for each other. So I try to be the hand, of AA. It's hard to come up with new things to say when you guys have heard it before, but I'm not going to take up a whole lot more time, but I do have one thing that I'd like to close with. And I heard it at a meeting one time, and it just fits, it's apropos for the end of my little story here. it is, today, I have an endless hope rather than a hopeless end. And that just is encouraging for me. So thanks for letting me speak, and thanks for being here for me.
Well, thanks, Starla. Very good, and I'm gonna look forward to next year. We have a certificate here. The group has signed it on the back. We're glad that you are here.
Thank you.
And yeah, you know, I guess I remember you being here and that. I do remember, and I think one of the things that kind of come into my mind was, you're about to marry this woman I ever seen in my life. And,
I've only been married 3
that's you know, kind of just one of the things that happens sometimes. But you know, just glad that you're here. Things are going well for you, and that you're sober today. And you know, that's what's important. So it's customary to open it up for comments, so I'll just open it up. Someone would like to make a comment, feel free.
Jill, alcoholic.
Hey, Jill.
Starla, I actually, a lot of things that you went through resonated with me. I've been to a total of 15 different rehabs, and I thought about where I was going to go to get my next drink as soon as I got out of there, except for this last time. The getting sick in your mouth and like really having to like force it down just so you want to have that tremors anymore and you're not sick. So I definitely resonate with that, and I want to thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
I'm Jim, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey,
Jim. Thank you, Starla. I really appreciate your story, and I love your message. Every time I hear somebody, you know, and they start to tell us, you know, come into the part of what it's like today, and I see somebody that's immersed in recovery, and you know, my sponsor told me the family would grow up around me, and I keep coming back, and one did, and it's just coming to meetings for all the same reasons. You know, we want to continue to grow, but also it's my happy hour when I see all my friends, my neighbors, and it's a wonderful thing, and I know that one of the stories, you know, where we are today is wrapping up, you know, like that I think we're gonna be all right. So, anyway, thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Chad, I'm a recovering addict. Last month, I checked myself into the Recovery Centers of America in Indiana, in Indianapolis, on September 18th. And so this would make a month for me being completely sober. And I aspire to be you. I have admiration for you. I really do. Your story has really given me hope. 6 years, that's fantastic. You're definitely a soldier of God, and you're awesome. So, thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
So you have 1 month sobriety today?
Yes, sir.
Did you get feeling going for that?
Hi, Jenny.
Starla, I always enjoy hearing you, and of course, yeah, you're on the yearly list, so get used to it, I guess. And I don't know, I've heard you a couple times, but the part about, you know, going to a different place so people didn't know, right? Yeah, that was my deal. I had 7 different ones I went to, yeah, in London. And that whole thing, just trying to hide it, and plus I had to hide my ex-husbands too, so I didn't tell them to me because I had that great Avalon thing going on, so I came to work this program and live this program, because I wasn't working so hard to stay drunk. So, yeah, thanks for coming over with Battle Pass.
Thanks for joining. My name's Wes, I'm an alcoholic. Thanks for a powerful message. One of my reactions was, well, gee, I never, got sick in my mouth before sit down. I'm not that bad. I only relapsed 7 times in 2 years and detoxed at home by myself every time. Hopefully I won't do that again. Because it was hell. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad I heard you tonight. So you can all come back, and I put you down. Next year, this weekend will be October 18th. That's all I got.
Thanks, Wes.
My name's Tom, I'm an alcoholic. Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
I'm Andrew, recovering alcoholic.
Andrew.
I want to thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate it very much. And I want to congratulate all the token pickers. That's all I have.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, my name's Tom, an alcoholic. And I remember your lead from last year, Starla, and when Joni said you were going to lead this month, I was happy. I was going to be here, and I'm glad I was. And thank you.
Thanks,
Tom.
Joey Alcoholic.
Yeah.
Starless, I can relate like to the antabuse, excuse me. So I've tried antabuse, but the thing with that is you have to take it for it to work. So of course I never took it. I never took it. I think I took it one time, and I'm like, one pill ain't gonna do nothing, it's gotta be in your system, and I'm like, throw that bottle right away. And that was the remedy, to stop drinking. And I just, I just simply just didn't take them, and I wasn't, at that time, I just wasn't ready to quit drinking. And so I got curious and kind of explored a little more, and then thought about getting the Vivitrol shot. So I would say yes, and then I'd turn around like 4 hours beforehand and be like, no, I don't want that. I don't even know what that is, And I struggled, I struggled. But no, I just, I could really relate to the antabuse because you have to take it for it to work, And then I'm not a pill kind of guy, And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not even going to test that theory, So I never took it, but I could really relate to the antabuse because I had a bottle, but I just never took it, And like I said, that just drove me farther in addiction. Nope, that's all I got, and thank you for your message.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm Jennifer, grateful recovering alcoholic.
Hi, Jennifer.
First of all, I'm grateful to be here tonight. I have not been able to make it to this meeting for quite some time. Life happens a lot for me. I've actually just had to switch up meetings and go to different ones that were more convenient, but I am grateful that I'm here tonight because I really miss being in this meeting. Starla, your name is absolutely beautiful. I love your name, and I am grateful that I was able to be here for your lead tonight. It's funny because when you just see people, like you would never know, what lies behind the name, and so I relate a lot with a lot of the things that you went through, and you always hear something that always sticks, and I've never really heard that before, where you said God led me to AA, but AA led me back to God. And I absolutely love that because I really believe that is the truth. This program is about finding spirituality and to be open-minded to that.
And I have definitely grown a lot since I've been a part of this program. And I'm just grateful that I was here for your lead tonight, and thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
But here's your
Anybody else? How about on the phone?
Yeah, I'm Sharon, recovering alcoholic.
Hey,
Starla, that was an amazing lead, and congratulations to all the token takers. And Starla, that was quite an inspirational story. I'm so glad I was able to hear it tonight. So thank you, and keep up the good work. Somebody said you're a soldier of God, and it sure sounds that way. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Starla. That was a very good lead. And you know, one thing, and I kind of come to my mind when Joey was talking there. You know, I never was. I went to treatment centers a lot, but I never took an abuse. But you know, I was never interested in it anyway, because it just didn't make good sense to me that I was going to take something that was going to make me sick when I drank, because I knew that I was going to drink. And it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, but you know, I guess eventually I come around and got sober, and I'm very grateful for that. So, anybody else have anything before we close?
Yeah, I'm local. Yeah, or I don't understand, this is a small community, we don't have enough liquor stores around, you know. Now, we can go and visit a different one all the time. I mean, I live in Slina, there's one liquor store there. And if I want to sit there and I have to go to St. Henry to one, you know. And I'm not driving that dang many miles, because I want to drink. But, you know, really appreciate your story, and, you know, I've heard leads that are longer, and I've heard leads that are shorter, but you packed a lot into that lead there. Really appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Thanks, Al. I always went to the same place to get it because they knew exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks again to everybody. Thank you, Starla. And I have a real nice way of closing the meeting. We'll gather at the front of the room there, and we'll close with the Lord's Prayer.
Sure. We stand in circles because we are here for each other. Hold on to that hand that you've got as if your life depends on it, because it just might one day. Who keeps us sober?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Keep coming back.
your dog?
No, I don't have a dog.
I'd really like to.
No, it wasn't me.
Growing up. And on.
Yeah, I did see you there.
Don, how are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Been a while. Doing good? Nathan?
Trying to.
That's all you can do. Good to see you too. Hey, been missing a while.
Yes, perfect. You know what, I actually seen Mike there and he said, you know, where's Ella? Doesn't he know?
Hey Wes, how we doing?
Don't you put that on me.
How we doing? Everybody's Cookies? Yeah, Brad, how we doing? Since last Thursday.
Hair no request. How you doing, Melissa? Good, how are you? I'm blessed.
Tell your daughter you made sandwich.
Oh, you just take the.
Or thank you for your mouth, and slow her down.
I'll tell her at the sermon that we'll have some scripture behind the sermon. And then, you know, bring up that.
She knows stuff.
I know where I put it. Probably too.
That's a pizza mitt.
Yeah, every page has.
There's one.
They're wonderfully done.
I got enough for next week.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I will. John,
Thank you for choosing Creek Conference also. If you are the host, press 1 now. Otherwise, please wait and you will be joined in the
and Joey. Come stay at
I would love that.
Don't you have a meeting here?
I would love that.
Okay. You gotta come over and get your voice.
selfish and self-centered. You know, and it works
You can't have a one-sided cable. We have a meeting here. Sounds like Gary's on the line. Hi, Gary. Jim here.
Hey Gary, Tom here.
How we doing? You Friday night? So. They had some roof on. Thursday? Oh, you are?
So I'm putting a metal roof on for him. We'll be done Tuesday. But other than that, I don't have nothing else really lined up. I've been helping Mitch at the cabins because they were taking those. So I've been helping him with that. And I got a project.
White House.
I don't know for sure yet. Okay. Yeah, give me a call. You have the number.
More to go through.
Do you have a bank account? Do you have a bank account? And then when you spend, carry like $5,000.
Trust me, we've never had $5,000.
Oh, don't tell me.
All this stuff is very
Oh, that's good. You get stolen.
bank statements and all that.
Oh, that's good. Nobody wants that.
Enough is my I don't make it today.
Yeah, and I don't
Somebody else wants it.
Oh, no, I'm watching this forever. I'm learning from you. Maybe one day I will.
It would have been, whoever did this little wall and made it really nice and then I started doing it. See the difference? There, this is the person that had it. That is this me.
You can read it, right?
What?
You can read it, right?
Write it down.
Yep. And you're not drunk?
Sorry when I get it.
You got the job.
Well, I got 7 o'clock, folks, so let's get this started here. I'm Kevin, and I'm an alcoholic. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Fort Recovery Sunday night meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. And those of you who care to, would you help me open this meeting with serenity prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. AA Preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And I've asked a couple friends to do some readings, and first one is how it works.
Wayne, I'm an alcoholic.
Wayne.
How it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually only men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. They are such unfortunates. They are not at fault, they seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from great emotional and mental disorders, and many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, and you are ready to take certain steps. At some of the things we bought, we thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, and our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscience contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, what an order, I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, a chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. C, that God had forgiven believers.
Thanks, Wayne. Now I've asked my friend Ted, he's going to explain the promises to us.
I'm Ted, I'm an alcoholic.
Ted.
A, promises. 1, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we're halfway through. 2, we are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. 3, we will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. 4, we will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. 5, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. 6, the feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. 7, we will lose interest in self-esteem and gain interest in our fellows. 8, self-seeking will slip away. 9, our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. 10, fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. 11, we will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. And 12, we will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
Thank God.
They're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize on the forward.
Thank you, Ted.
And my friend Fred has a daily reflection.
I'm Fred, I'm an alcoholic.
Hello, Fred.
September 19th, acceptance. We admitted we couldn't lick alcohol with our own remaining resources, and so we accepted the further fact that dependence upon a higher power, if only our AA group could do this,
Since then, he has helped me through all my difficulties. When I accept situations as they are, not as I wish them to be, then I can begin to grow and have serenity and peace of mind.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
And while I'm on this side of the room, I'm gonna have my friend Al explain the token system.
I'm Al, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Here at the Sunday night recovery meeting, we hand out tokens to celebrate different lengths of sobriety. Anybody here for the first meeting or their first meeting, last drink, want to live the way we do, 24 hours at a time, need a token? Then we have monthly tokens. I think we have every month here from 1 through 11. Anybody celebrating a month?
All right.
Yeah, you got a
Anybody else celebrating a month? Okay, then we have 1 year. You have 18 months in here, Kevin?
Yep.
And 18 months. Any year thereafter?
Go ahead. My name's Wes, I'm an alcoholic. Last Wednesday is October 15th, I celebrated 4 years.
All right.
Good job, Wes.
And my cactus is still alive.
You still need another one.
There'll be a cake next week for Wes, a cake for some Dale tonight. I owe you an amends, Wes.
You do not.
Tell me what you want.
Lemon.
The sky's the limit.
Of course. All right, get a lemonade.
Okay, anybody else have any time you want to recognize?
I got my 8-month token on the 14th.
Okay, if you haven't had a drink or a drug today, give yourself and your higher power.
Okay, next we have, the 24-hour day book.
I'm Jennifer, grateful recovering alcoholic. October 19th, AA thought for the day. Do I realize that I do not know how much time I have left? It may be later than I think. Am I going to do the things that I know I should before my time runs out? By the way, what is my purpose for the rest of my life? Do I realize all I have to make up for in my past wasted life? Do I know that I am living on borrowed time and that I would not have even this much time without AA and the grace of God? Am I going to make what time I have left count for AA? Meditation for the day. We can believe that somehow the cry of the human soul is never unheard by God. It may be that God hears the cry, even if we fail to notice God's response to it. The human cry for help must always evoke a response of some sort from God. It may be that our failure to discern properly keeps us unaware of the response. But one thing we can believe is that the grace of God is always available for every human being who sincerely calls for help. Many changed lives are living proofs of this act. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may trust God to answer my prayer as He sees fit. I pray that I may be content with whatever form that answer may take.
And my friend Joey is going to read, as Bill sees it.
The Joey alcoholic.
Hey, Joey.
Only God is unchanging, page 76. Change is a characteristic of all growth, from drinking to sobriety, from dishonesty to honesty, from conflict to serenity, from hate to love, from childish dependence to adult responsibility. All these and infinitely more represent change for the better. Such changes are accomplished by a brief and a practice of sound principles. Here we must needs discard bad or effective principles in favor of good ones that work. Even good principles can sometimes be displaced by the discovery of still better ones. Only God is unchanging.
Only He has all the truth that there is.
Amen.
Yep.
Okay, we already did the tokens. Okay, announcements. I don't have anything, going on right now. Anybody got any announcements? Anything going on anywhere?
I'm an alcoholic.
No.
In the end of April, they are planning a bus trip or a van trip to, Dr. Bob's
Bob.
house.
Okay,
But we
so
don't
don't
have
have,
much of the details yet.
right. Some maybe in April, huh?
Yeah, end of April.
Okay, that's a good time. That's a good trip up there. We did that last year or year before. That was it was a good trip. So, okay. I don't have it out, but we do have literature here. We also have books. If anybody needs a book, let me know. If I don't have it, I'll get you one. And yeah, everybody needs a book, so if you don't have a book, we need to get one. So we are self-supporting through our own contributions. I'll pass the basket, pays the rent, buys coffee, other things that we need, so everybody needs money. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves again. I'm Kevin, and I'm an alcoholic.
Chaz, I'm an addict. Gary, an alcoholic.
Jim alcoholic.
Jim.
I'm Jody, I'm an alcoholic.
Jill, alcoholic.
I'm an alcoholic.
Wayne, I'm an alcoholic.
Wayne, Jed, I'm an alcoholic.
Ted.
Eric Allen.
Eric.
I'm Fred, I'm an alcoholic.
Fred.
Starla, alcoholic.
Starla.
Alcoholic.
Tally, Darcy, Al-Anon.
Darcy.
Rita, Al-Anon.
Rita. Lori, Ellen.
Gloria.
My name's Wes, I'm an alcoholic.
Wes.
Andrew, recovering alcoholic.
Andrew.
Chris, alcoholic.
Chris.
Tom, alcoholic.
Tom. Jennifer, grateful recovering alcoholic.
Joey, alcoholic.
Jared, alcoholic.
Jared.
Not alcoholic.
Don.
And who we have on the phone tonight?
I'm Sharon, recovering alcoholic.
Hi, Sharon. Okay, well, I'd like to welcome everyone. This is a lead meeting, and we have a lead tonight. Lady, I've heard her a couple times before, and she has a good story, and I believe